Global Leadership Summit, Day 2. Incredible. We kicked off the day with Chris Voss. Chris Voss, FBI negotiator. He helped me see that we are in 5 to 7 negotiations every day. And the key to engaging in better negotiations is called tactical empathy. It's being able to hear, listen, and understand and articulate back the other person's perspective. And when we get curious, it drives our conversations forward. He had all sorts of practical ways that we can employ how questions instead of why makes people feel cornered. Great session. That was followed by Mayor Asia Brown, Mayor of Compton. She talked about how vision matters, how in the positions of leadership that we find ourselves in, we have to let our vision drive us towards the better that may even feel impossible in the moment, but believe and see that the best is yet to come. Then my 4th grade music class mind was blown by some guy playing the recorder and then beatboxing out of nowhere. You can just Google recorder beatboxer and meet the individual and experience it on YouTube. Amazing. Jia Jing talked about how we can learn to grow in our leadership and in life through rejection. When he signed up or personally committed himself to 100 days of rejection through the game called Rejection Therapy. Hilarious, very insightful. Todd Hendry, who wrote the book Herding Tigers, talked about how creativity in a team is unleashed in an environment where there is appropriate challenge and stability. The issue is those two things are in constant tension with each other. And so in order to navigate that, it's really up to the leader that creates that environment. And the nuance is going to be different for every team member. His big quote takeaway for me is, your insecurity as a leader is the greatest threat to the creativity of your team. Not only to the creativity, but to the productivity and to the overall health. I'm going to say that again. Your insecurity as a leader, my insecurity as a leader, is the greatest threat to your team's health and to your team's creativity. Wow. I need to think about that. Dr. Kish talked about how leaders are called to see things. They need to see the vision that seems invisible or unseeable to others. He talked about the importance of inclusion. It's about seeing beyond the surface. And so if we are going to be inclusive in our teams, cultures, and societies, we have to see beyond the skin, beyond the first impression. And then he talked about how the opposite of prejudice is not tolerance, it's not kindness, it's hospitality. It's opening the door, setting the table, and inviting people into some of the most personal places of our life. Great talk. Joe Saxton asked 3 questions. Who were you before you were told what you should be? Number 2, if your body was able to talk, what would it tell you about itself? Are you paying attention to your physical health? And 3rd is, who are your people? Who are the friends that are helping you accelerate your leadership? One of her key takeaways is the way you think about yourself shapes the way you lead. The thoughts, the beliefs, and the behaviors you have about your own person drive and shape your leadership. That was followed by Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls talked about the value of failure in getting to the next level in life and leadership. That failure is the door we go through. Fear is what we all experience. The way we navigate that is with the fire that is under the surface, the dream or the passion, the purpose that God has given you. And the 4th thing is that faith is essential to ascend to great heights in life. And he shared some of his own personal story in that. And we wrapped up the summit the way we started with Craig Groeschel, talking about the way that we close the gap between telling people what we want them to know and what we want them to do is through leveraging appropriately the feelings that we want people to have. That emotion can actually drive leadership forward. I told you, Day 2, action-packed. And so I can't wait to attend the Global Leadership Summit in 2020. These are some of the things that I'm taking away. Hopefully you have some things to add to your life. Day 2 in 5 minutes or less.